Hello, Josh here with Unicycle.com. Today we're going to assemble a club unicycle. This assembly will cover any unicycle that uses a 40mm bearing hub and or using stamped bearing caps. Once you get the box, we recommend you unpack the entirety of the box and take inventory to make sure that you received all the pieces. Of course, when you get new stuff like this, whether it's Christmas or not, you feel like it's Christmas. Now that we check that everything else is in the box, if you have any questions and you want written instructions aside from the video we're providing you here, we have a couple of cards here that give you some pointers on how to assemble, follow-up maintenance, i.e. you want to really address the crank arms and the pedals. You want to keep the pedals tight, especially if you're riding a lot of backwards or idle. First off, what I like to do is the seat clamp will already be on the frame. You'll want to take some grease, whether it be synthetic or lithium white grease, and just put a little bit of lube, a light coating of lube inside the seat tube here. And then you want to install the seat. And then the best way to assemble the unicycle from here on out is to actually sit it upside down. If you need a little bit more leverage or you want the cycle to be more stable, because not everybody has a bicycle stand at home, I recommend you just sit flat on the ground and stick the saddle in between your knees. That way it'll give you leverage and stabilize the unicycle. As you'll notice, there are right and left stickers onto the cranks. So you want to make sure that you get the right crank arm or the right hand side of the wheel in the right side of the frame. Then you will also notice that you'll have the left crank arm and the left side of the frame will also be in place. All right, once you have that tightened, which takes a while, so you might want to have a cup of coffee or a nice cup of tea while you're doing that. Now, when you're making this adjustment, it is a bearing adjustment, but it holds the wheel tight into the frame. So you want to have the space even on both sides of the bearing caps on both the right and the left-hand side. So these are tight enough that you won't have any rattling when you drop the frame, but they're loose enough that the wheel can spin freely. There are no torque specs on this, as there's different tolerance runs on the bearings and also the stamped bearing caps and the finish, whether it be powder coat or anodized. Once that is done, then you want to get to where the frame is, right side of the frame is on your right side and the left side of the frame is on your left side. That is the easiest to tighten the pedals down. When installing the pedals, the right-hand side of the pedal is traditional pedaling, so when you turn it to the right, it will tighten. When you turn it to the left, it will loosen. On the other side, it's counterclockwise. It's reversed, and the reason why it's reverse threaded is so when you're pedaling forward, it doesn't unscrew while you ride. When you go to install this, if you don't have a directional arrow on the pedal, then you'll know that you need to turn it left to tighten and right to loosen. We recommend a little bit of grease onto the axles. Again, any synthetic or polymer or white lithium grease will be more than enough for the application. And then I like to tighten these down finger tight. And then an easy trick is with the pedal wrench. If you want to speed the process up a little bit more, you can hang on to the unicycle and kind of spin the wheel. Just watch it, because if it stops really quick, it'll take your wrench with it and shoot it across the room. And when you do this, you want to snug this, grabbing the tire and keeping the tire from moving so you have maximum leverage on the wrench. I like to use a little longer pedal wrench, but this one will work that comes with the box. So now the right pedal is snug. Then you can adjust the seat post. A good guide for this is if you have the unicycle sitting down in front of you and where your belly button is, you want the top of the saddle to be level with your belly button. That is a good guesstimate on the rough, within a ½ inch of how high the seat post and the saddle should be for you. If you find that the seat post is too tall, then you can cut it down with a hacksaw or a pipe cutter, or order a shorter seat post if you didn't do it already with your order. We thank you for your time. Have a great day. Now go out and ride.